Road to 100 mil, episode 2. It's been some time since the last release of this series. A lot has happened in these few weeks, so let's quickly go over to MUTGG. Right now, our account value is actually a little bit over 100 million coins, which is significantly up from the last time you guys saw my account value from this series. But let's break down now all the ways, and I guess some ways we lost some coins, but as well, a lot of the ways we got our account value up to this amount. First things first, top 100 in the ranked. I believe it was session 5, maybe it was session 6, but we finished top 100 in ranked, so we did get our Calvin Johnson. I ended up selling him for, I think, 9 million coins when I first got him. Now, that was the first Calvin Johnson I got. For some reason, EA, a few days after that, I got a second Calvin Johnson. I also got a Julius Brents. Now, I don't have definitive proof like in my account right now that I got a second Calvin Johnson, other than this tweet I made a week ago just showing it in the companion app. I also can show you just through the uniforms, right? I've only finished in top 100 twice this season, and I have 3 sets of uniforms. So when I did get that Calvin Johnson, I did panic a little bit because I thought, well, if I'm getting a second Calvin Johnson, I'm sure the other top 100 people are getting a second Calvin Johnson. So I did kind of sell him at a bit of a discount. 7.9 mil, right, where he goes for like 9 to 9.5 mil, but I'm not gonna make any complaints, right? It was a free 7.2, 7.3 million coins after tax, plus I got a free Julius Brents for it. So, you know, some would say Mickey Mouse. I'm not gonna complain, right? Free 7 million coins essentially from a glitch that it really was EA Sports' fault. That it all happened. The other main way I have been making coins these past few weeks, if you've been living under a rock, you probably will be like, house rules. Yes, house rules. They implemented the seasonal showdown event a few weeks back. We're currently in week 3. It really runs to the end of season 6. And to give you a brief summary of the event and how it all works, it's a mini gauntlet. I don't say mini in terms of the games played, but mini in terms of the rewards. It's a free entry, no elo, skill-based matchmaking-based mode where you think of like Emily the Show Battle Royale, where if you lose one game though, it's out. So you can play and get up to 9 wins, right? If you lose in one of those games, your run ends, and of course there's varying rewards for how many wins you get, very similar to Gauntlet. Gauntlet though, you can lose you lose 2 times before you're kicked out. And again, no entry fee, and with the no elo, no skill-based matchmaking, for someone that is really, really good at the game, that I would consider myself being, it's a very, very easy mode to win. And if you do go 9-0, again, the rewards have kind of varied each week depending on the value of the cards within the packs. You know, the main reward is you get 4 93 plus season showdown packs, where that consists of like 93 plus combine cards, 94 plus free agency cards, 95 plus team of the year cards. Really all the promos that are involved in season 6, except for like Roster Revolution, House, or AKA, and Ultimate Legends. So if you go 9-0, in the beginning during week 1, you were getting like 700 to 800k minimum for a 9-0 run. During week 2, it was more around the 600k range, and then as of right now, it's around like the 500, 600k range too. So to give you a summary, I've probably won the event 30 to 35 times over the course of the last 2.5, 3 weeks. And yeah, like I said, you get around, let's say on average, I gotten 600 to 700k from those 30, 35 plus wins. You can kind of see where the coin count increases pretty rapidly with this event. But on that note, some actual pack pulls, because you also can get lucky. Like I said, it's 93 plus. You're not just getting 93s, 94s, and 95. So I've opened around, I would say, I want to say like 90 or 100. I've opened 100 plus of these packs. I've opened quite a lot, okay? And I have pulled Micah Parsons LTD and probably another 10 to 15 96 to 97 overall champions. Now, Micah Parsons, he was the big pull of that group. I actually was hoarding the 93 plus packs until Combine Part 2. That dropped, and I pulled Micah Parsons, and at the time, he was going for 5 mil. He's going for like 3.5 right now, but altogether, I can't put a definitive number of how much I've made. It's up there, though. It's probably in excess of 20 million coins, I would say. But yeah, house rules, head-to-head event. Definitely going to be playing it these last 2 weeks before that mode, or we'll see if it comes back for Season 7, but I'm not expecting it to because it's that good. I don't think EA is going to want to do it again. So I'm going to definitely take advantage of it. over these next 2 weeks. Investing wise, I've definitely taken a little bit of a back seat these past few weeks because of house rules, but also because there hasn't been that many opportunities, right? We go look at the promos that have coming out. Free agency, for example, right? It was a 1-part promo. It required 94 overall free agency cards and then 92 overalls in the sets, right? A little bit unpredictable from EA. And then Team of the Year, right? The main promo the past few weeks. It's not really an investing promo because a bulk of the set is the 95 overall Team of the Years, and they required 193 overall, which, again, I was not prepared for. I didn't prep or invest at all going into Team of the Year. The only actual main investment the past few weeks that I've done that has been major, I would say successful, was actually for Combine Part 2. I had pre-built the champions, right? I was buying 93 Combines at the time for 150k. And then the other side of the set, the Innie 93s, I was buying for around 80k. Now, on that Combine Part 2 release, what actually happened was everyone had kind of been saving up their Seasonal Showdown 93 plus packs. So the Combine 93 market actually went down a ton, went to like 120 to 130k, you know, on release. But when that happens, the other side of the set, something has to go up in price, right? There's new champions out. They're going to go for a lot. So, of course, the other side of the set, the Innie 93s went from 80k all the way up to 130k. So that's where I made a bulk of that profit, right? Essentially 40k per 93. I had around 70 of them, so that profit was really, really good. I actually just combined the two and was building the champions, building the ultimate champions. All right, making 150k after tax on each individual set worked out really, really good for me. But that really was the only investing I've done, I would say, over the past few weeks. I've done AKA bits and pieces, but you know, again, I kind of took a break from it because when Team of the Year comes out, the O-lineman that I was kind of banking on for not only AKA, but Ultimate Legends, right, they kind of got put on the back burner because, well, Team of the Year comes out, you're going to get a 97 offensive lineman, right, that 95 O-lineman and 96 O-lineman that I was sort of investing with and playing with a little bit. They're not that important anymore. People don't want them on their team. So, again, I kind of took a step back from AKA investing a bit, UL investing a bit, focused on Combine Part 2, but that was a few weeks back. Now, I am heavily invested going into this upcoming week, right, for Ring of Honor, right? We have a new season in a few weeks, so you want all that information of what I'm doing again every single day. Coin Bible is going to be, you know, where I put all that information. Can't give out too many secrets on the YouTube, but, you know, click the link in the description if you want information and access to that as always. And the last bit of account stuff that I've built on the past few weeks, I did the Team of the Year solos, of course. Ended up only getting Justin Jefferson BND from the random Team of the Year pack. And then the sellable one, I got lucky enough to pull Fred Warner. Sold him for 550k. The other major thing I did was the completionist objectives / sets for Team of the Year. Now, it's something I don't think the community really even knows is a thing. Because it's hidden really in objectives. Now, you see the sets, right? It, you know, acquire essentially all the Team of the Year cards. You put them in a set, you complete an objective, you get the cards back fully sellable, and, well, you just complete an objective. Now, if you complete all the completionist sets, you not only get a fantasy pack of all the Team of the Year cards where you choose one as a BND, but you get a random 98 overall Team of the Year LTD. So, the cost of doing the objectives, right, is going to be the tax of you buying a Team of the Year and then, you know, doing the set and then selling the Team of the Year back. Now, I got really, really lucky for a few reasons. One, I had quite a few of the expensive Team of the Years that I actually had pulled in some Seasonal Showdown packs the very same day. I pulled Penei Sewell. I pulled Kyle Juszczyk. I pulled, I believe, Lamar Jackson. You know, a week before that, I had pulled Jordan Mailata and I believe actually Justin Jefferson, the sellable one, right, in these Seasonal Showdown packs. So I had already like a quarter of the sets completed. The other lucky part of it all was I bought and this is just pure luck, like it's not any skill, expertise, anything when it comes to the market. I got very lucky. I just happened to be buying these cards. I believe it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon West Coast time. And at the time I bought a lot of these cards, I then went to complete the objectives and the completionist sets. When I went to go sell them back, about half of them had risen like 25k to 50k in price. Now, part of that was probably me doing the set on stream. People were doing the sets alongside with me, so the demand for these cards went up, but that was just purely luck. Whereas like half of the Team of the Years I bought, sold them back for the same price, right? Lost the coins on tax. The other half of them, you know, they went up 25k to 50k, and I actually made a profit on them, right? Kyle Hamilton, for example, bought for 300k, sold for 350, right? I made 15k on him. Creed Humphrey is actually one I kept for my team. I bought him for 355k. He's going for like 430k right now. So you can kind of see where usually when you do these completionist sets, it's just all tax, it's all loss. But for me, I only spent 300k completing all these sets and then selling the cards back. 300k, and I got a BND Team of the Year, which I chose Penei Sewell, right, going for 550, 600k. So already, right, I'm saving coins there. But then in the LTD pack, and you could sell the pack, it's a random one, right? So you can get Jamar Chase, Brandon Aubrey, or you can get Saquon Barkley. I got really lucky. I pulled Cooper DeJean. I sold him for 1.52 million coins. So altogether, after taxes and the cost of me just doing these sets and objectives, I made 1 million coins liquid, 1 million coins flat after tax, plus I got a free Penei Sewell. Worked out great. Now, of course, these completionist sets, you have to have a lot of coins to do them, right? You're gonna have to have like 7-8 million coins to even just get started. So, that's a luxury of having a big coin stack, but that worked out for me. Again, I don't know the market where it's at right now. It's probably still profitable if you can do it, but again, it costs a lot of coins to kind of get it started. But that's all the positives from this past week, because in this video we're going to talk about the losses, the negatives, the mistakes I made over the past few weeks. Now, investing wise, didn't really make any mistakes. I guess the only mistake I made was I went on a trip last week and I was gone for 3 to 4 days. I probably over-invested in the amount of the supply of the cards that I invested in, and I wasn't able to sell them in time to make a profit. I ended up losing on like a few AKA 92 and 93s because, again, I just didn't have the time to sell them. That's completely on me. I shouldn't have over-invested knowing I'd be gone for a few days when it was like exactly during the sell window for those cards. But the major losses I've had, and again, we talk about the positives, right? We gained a ton from house rules. We gained a ton from top 100 ranked. We gained a ton from the completionist sets. You would think, right, and yes, my coin account value went up a lot these past few weeks, but I've also lost a lot of coins from the value of my team, and more specifically, the value of my LTDs, right? I'm on record saying this. I am one of the worst people when it comes to predicting the prices and how LTDs are in on the market, right? It used to be very simple back in Madden 22, Madden 23 when I invested in them. I'd buy them on the last day they're in packs, and I'd buy them in the afternoon, evening of them. But as of recent, the past few years, right, EA sometimes puts them back into packs. They stay in packs longer than expected, right? So many things that are out of my control. We've actually seen some LTDs be their cheapest when they first come out into the game. And so, on that note, I saw that kind of happen during part 1 of Combine, where Malcolm Jenkins, for example, was like 2.5 mil when he first dropped. He ended up going up to like 4.5 mil by the time he went out of packs. So I'm like, hey, thinking of that, I went out, for example, and I bought Jamal Charles LTD, potentially for 3 million coins on like the first hour of Combine part 2, right? As of right now, he's going for like 1 to 1.5 mil. Right, and just speaking of other LTDs, they're so expensive. And when cards come out, new content releases, right, it's not like they're champions, they're 600k, 500k, and they drop 100k. It's like, big deal, that's nothing. But these LTDs, man, when they drop in price, they drop millions of coins, right? My Randy Moss, who I've had, who was upwards of 3.5 mil, he's like 1.5 mil now. Cordell Patterson I bought last week for 3.5, he's under 3 mil, right? All these cards, all right, there could be a content drop with a bunch of new cards. My LTDs could lose a combined like 3 to 4 mil in a day. It's ridiculous. So it's something I want to be better at managing moving forward. Is I'm only going to be buying LTDs that are like significant game changers for my team. Like, for example, I think Malcolm Jenkins would fall under that significant game changer, right? He gets all the zone KOs, plus he gets Avalanche, a very unique combination for a defensive back. It's part of the reason why he's held his value so much. Micah Parsons kind of fits into that role, right? He's kind of a do-it-all player, but I don't know. I think I could live without Micah Parsons, right? Christian Watson, Cordell Patterson, right? They're receivers, right? I really did not need them for 3.5 and 4.5 million coins. Quentin Nelson as well, like offensive lineman, I bought for 3 million coins. He actually went up to 4 mil, but now he's like in the mid-2s, right? I probably didn't need him on my team. So, again, I think over the next month or so, right, as I try to get my coin count and account value to keep climbing, I'm going to be a bit more picky with the LTDs I spend 2, 3, 4 million coins on, because again, you keep them on your team for a week, and yes, they really help me when playing house rules and ranked, but it doesn't help when I gain 3 to 4 million coins over a few days playing house rules, but then I lose 2 million coins on a Saturday, right, when a few of my LTDs drop 200k to 500k in value. So, something I want to be better at moving forward. But actually taking a look into my team, because there are going to be some changes moving forward in the next week, right? We got Ring of Honor coming up, Season 6 potentially, right? Another free agency release. We'll see about that, but I haven't really picked up too many free agency cards. The only team of the years you'll actually see are on my offense, and it's for my offensive lineman, right? That would be like the big meta ship over the past few weeks is the team of the year offensive lineman get pass protector and run protector for 0 AP combined, which is secure protector, right? Best offensive line ability in the game. But other than that, it's a majority of a combine team with a lot of LTDs. Yes, you might notice Cam Jordan at running back may or may not be doing the double pass. It's cheese, man. In house rules, it makes the games go by very, very quickly. Moving on to my defense, you'll see my team is predicated on, well, really in Madden 25 right now, with how much AP is available on defense. You can really go one of two routes. You can either stack your defensive line with like passive unstoppable forces and Colossus, or you can put a lot of extra AP into avalanches on your defensive backs and your linebackers. I've gone for more of the avalanche route, right? I have avalanche on Malcolm Jenkins, Brian Urlacher, my user. It's a charge up one or a start on one with Patrick Peterson. I also have it on my Super Bowl LTD Cooper DeJean, not the team of the year, because, well, Super Bowl 1 gets avalanche. I also have, like, Enforcer Supremes and stuff on them to make sure when you get that hit stick, it's a good chance of him fumbling. As for, like, the Unstoppable Forces and Colossus, I kind of went the cheap route where I'm running the charge-up Unstoppable Forces on Danielle Hunter and Amari Barno. So I've kind of went that route with my team. We'll see how it evolves over the next few weeks. I think Ring of Honor, of course, we're going to get some of the new best cards in the game, but Team of the Year and Free Agency really didn't have much of an impact on my team. Ability-wise, they just aren't as good as the Combine players, and even some Super Bowl players, for example, like Ray Nitschke, I think is still really, really good. Nolan Smith, for example. But yeah, I definitely haven't super upgraded my team within the past week or so as much as I did a few weeks back. But we'll see how that changes going into Ring of Honor. AKAs now are a little bit better if we get good cards there. We can see some really, really good cards every Monday. Even Roster Revolutions now aren't the worst cards in the game. So content now is a little more even across the board. Combine still runs the show, but, you know, content across the board is really, really good now. But that's going to be it for episode 2 of Road to 100 Mil. Yes, this video, right, was more focused on gameplay rewards than really investing. But again, like I mentioned a bit earlier, got a lot of investments into Ring of Honor that I think are going to do really, really good. So hopefully we get another big boost. And again, I'm going to continue to grind house rules, but now I'm going to continue to invest, hopefully, you know, profitable and good over this next week. Expect expect a road to 100 mil every single week. The only reason we skipped last week was because I was gone. And until next time, peace.